Addition has some very nice properties, which can be best described in terms of equivalent expressions. The first one of these properties that we'd like to talk about here is called the commutative property. One way we can state this property is to say, for any numbers a and b, a plus b is equal to b plus a. This is such an important and useful property, and going to continue to come up over and over again so much that I'm going to put a box around it. Now, I said this property was best described in terms of equivalent expressions. And it's true. This is a statement that two expressions are equivalent. In particular, the expressions a plus b and b plus a are equivalent. That is, they're equal no matter what a and b represent. Notice also, since this is true for any numbers, we say that this is a property that addition has. Addition has the commutative property. Addition also has another nice property, the associative property. The associative property says if I'm adding together three numbers, I can add together the first two and then add in the third one. Or I can first add together the second and the third and then add them to the first one. Again, in terms of equivalent expressions, the expressions a plus b plus c and a plus b plus c are equivalent. Again, this is a property that addition has. These two properties together let us make a really nice and helpful move when we're writing equivalent expressions. If we have an expression with a whole bunch of terms in it, we can reorder the terms and regroup the terms however we'd like. We can use this to make some kind of trick shots in arithmetic. So for example, if we wanted to add up these 6 numbers without using a calculator, it would be hard. But I notice that these two numbers add up to 100. So I maybe want to write them next to each other and group them. These two numbers add up to 100. So I want to write them next to each other and group them. And these two numbers add up to 100. So I want to write them next to each other and group them. So with that arrangement and grouping, I see that I have 100 plus 100 plus another 100, which adds up to 300. Just to check that that really worked out, if I actually were to add up that list of 6 numbers on the calculator, that really does add up to 300. But I wouldn't want to add those up by writing them in a big column and adding them. Again, this is kind of a trick. What we're really going to use this for is as a way of getting equivalent expressions. But this trick gives us a good way to see what's going on, and a good way to practice using these properties.